Aloha guys, it's JRTV. A little humor and a little deep philosophy here. Blank is a cocksucker, piece of shit, is a cunt, rather be a Nazi, and the best one, what I wouldn't do to murder God. That's what the bleeped out word is. So let's talk about that. I also have some, as usual, some opinions to express, some recently discovered. So the concept of God has to do with authority, is responsibility, and I think the more individuals take that on, the more they decide to not be dependent upon others or the government for financial support, or religious, or even like psychologists or other forms of authority to, or like a preacher or a quote unquote parent to look out for them. And the more people are taught to be responsible for themselves, and not just financially but also emotionally, then the freer we can experience of the world. It's really a question of wealth and confidence. So those are about positioning. For example, if people feel more confident when they're in a position. It's not about whether you're confident or courageous or not. It's if you're put in a situation where it's either you're either forced to, or you voluntarily need to show some confidence. For example, a very shy person might be shy, but then if somebody they care about is having problems, and they might have any problem, then they might be very glad to speak out to a crowd and express their opinions. So it's about what people strongly believe in. And of course those beliefs should be questioned. Beliefs such as we just observed earlier, this idea of a God. And when people say that they either hate God, don't believe in God, what they're really doing is they're saying that it's relevant. But it really, the issue really is not relevant, because what is relevant is the facts of, even if there was a, say, patriarchal, some type of figure in the sky, if you will, and in the heavens, all powerful or whatnot, even if that was true, is that what you would want? And just the same with, even if it was true that that reincarnation wasn't real, even if it was, I would still prefer it as a reality. Even if it was true that there was a heaven and everyone quote unquote lived carefree with no responsibilities, and that's just not real. That's not a human existence. And by the way, the human existence is flawed. It's not who we are. We are the unified field of light. We are the moon and the stars in galaxies near and far. That's us. For example, even such things as intimacy, sexuality, these are overestimated. You can be nice to yourself. Even things like security and protection, you can do all these things for yourself. The ego imagines that all this wealth and romantic and all these social, all of this stuff, this is all like a human thing, and it's imperfect. For example, I think the attraction towards say women and men towards each other, and so on, of course homosexual attraction too, I underestimated. It's kind of like a drug. And my thought is that there are many things to learn, like a positive thing from the quote unquote Bible is the Christian Bible is there are certain moral uprights presented. There's some value everywhere, even if the value consists of learning what not to do from a person or situation. Like the whole superiority complex, be it cultural or ethnic. The better things get better and better as we fuse. I had a great breakdown, global citizen, a lot of TED Talks on global citizenship. That's where we're going, guys. We're going to a more homogenous, but at the same time, it's not that we're losing cultures. It's that many people are adapting, or I should say, adopting many cultures. And therefore, we're not losing all the good stuff humanity has to offer. It's just that more and more people are able to connect, and because they have more common interests, and so my statement would be to say that like, for example, the whole idea of I'm just so elevated. I'm so elevated by this concept of we are world peace. It's achievable, but taking on a family and various other responsibilities and things such as even romance and intimacy, or other costly things that cost time and energy. Like, so for example, is it promoting world peace to say make a purchase of, say, a quote-unquote made in America or made in whatever your country of residence, and buying sustainably? Like, all these things can be positive, but are they the most efficient way to create world peace? And how can the world be at peace if... See, here's the thing. When people don't... either there's poverty or when people don't have their own money, what happens is they operate differently. It's not an authentic operation. So, for example, people on government assistance or under parents or whatever, there's a lack of truth there. And this is kind of the paradox of the individual versus the group mind, capitalist versus socialist, family versus, extended family versus just basic family, smaller family, and then multi-generational legacies and wealth passed on or not. Like, there's going to be a lack of truth in all this heavily hierarchical, and then government red tape, business, inefficiency or corruption, all of this stuff. That's where the quote unquote lack of truth is, but it also is a truth in the sense that it creates a sustaining basis for society, the worker bees, people who do simple various tasks, they allow people to enjoy it, like myself. Like, I don't know. I do labor tests as well, but you see where I'm going here. I'm really trying to analyze and understand how the best way, maybe for me, and the best way for people to live is, like for example, and all, considering the facts that there's problems in the world, and I don't want to seek great pleasures until those problems are solved. So I want to pleasures and enjoyments, and the thought is like work. Like, I have this theory that a balanced variety of work, so doing a whole collection of things, is they say that specialization is the way to success. But how do you measure success? How do you define it? Is it people being wealthy? I mean, there's always there's also this paradox of, well, maybe some person's healthy, goes to the gym, but maybe they're promiscuous, and then maybe there's somebody who's marriage oriented, but then they're not healthy. Like, there's all these variation. There's always these paradoxes in society of strong points and weak points, and so my thought here, though, is what if there's an optimal way of working which involves doing a variety of tasks, so you can feel you have a sense of variety, and like from massage therapy to construction trades work to various food and beverage work to farming. We want. I think it's better to. I think it's really better to have machines do difficult, dangerous work, like window cleaning on skyscrapers, painting. Well, it varies, but just not that humans should get lazy, but that hard work has an element of danger to it, and I think it's safer to exercise in a gym environment where the machines are, everything's safe, quote unquote. And there could be an argument against that. There could be the counter argument that, well, working in the field makes you feel a sense of purpose, and I don't know, I'm just talking out loud about society, how it's structured, and being careful not to fall into the trap of the ego that just wants to make life easier or just do simple things. So it's a combination of learning and looking for efficiencies, and just trying to program your mind like the Matrix. Program it to quickly learn and assimilate information, get control over your time and money by having clear goals. Here's the thing, guys. Goals and dreams are, you can't love yourself unless you have dreams, because love is not sexual, that's lust. And by the way, many people can lust over each other. It's also can be fairly convenient to pretend to love someone for a period of time. So be wary of that. That many people can find each other very attractive, and justify reasons why but there's a science behind it. The science consists of, do people have the same dreams and values and goals? And again, you can't love yourself unless you have a clear understanding of those values. You can't experience see, love is a sensation of doing things, like doing things you feel are meaningful, purposeful, exciting, a lot of creative stuff, of course, but that makes you feel a sense of love for yourself, and it's a vibration. So that's how you love yourself, and you can't love yourself unless you have dreams, and once you have dreams, why would you give your energy to a non-dreammate? You know, the mistake of the mistake of that people make is thinking that pursuing love for the sake, pursuing sex for the sake of pleasure, that leads to destruction, because that just means that you want to find a variety or different people, varieties of pleasure, and then if your quote unquote sex partner, temporary, it's half-hearted, by the way, but if that person should lose their virility or ability to have intimacy, then it means you just discard them. Like, that's objectifying humans, and when you do that, you know, you objectify yourself. When a guy wants a submissive bitch around them, or a woman wants a submissive guy around them, it makes them. Why would they want to be around a submissive person and avoid their dream mate? Like, anyone who's not your dream mate is classified, I'd say, as your non-dream mate. So, all these things considered, a usual opinion expression. Thanks for going through the routines with me. And we'll do a little light work. You know, visualize some brilliant white light, smiling people, smiling person. Let's say you have a romantic interest. Just imagine them smiling. You just think about it. Don't you want people to smile? You don't want, and that's the best thing, you know. You don't want people to be all like trying to seduce one another. Like, do that, you know, in the privacy of meeting, you know, not in a social setting, nightclub. Do it like you meet each other, maybe you say hi, but in the internet. And the internet allows you to interact with somebody from afar and truly exchange some science. There is, you know, it's not that personal opinions like, do you like someone? That's also a science. Yes, it's a fact. I like X, Y, and Z body type parts, and I like X, Y, and Z lifestyle interests and dreams. So just visualizing a person smiling, somebody you're romantically interested in, see them smiling joyfully, and just imagine a beam of white light streams through next to them, and they are ecstatic. They're like, wow, look at this incredibly bright white light. And they just walk through it, and it activates their aura, purifying them. Really, really good energy. Yeah. Let's say you have a stress at work. Let's imagine somebody smiling. Anyone there's a conflict with, even if it's something simple like you're tired and you don't want to go to work, or whatever it is, you're not happy with your pay even though you like the job, whatever, maybe you are not sure what to do next career-wise, whatever it is, just imagine the relevant people, including yourself. I mean, just imagine a beam of light coming right down next to you, and reach your hand out, you know, reach your hand out, and just bring that light unto you. Just beam the tools, your computer, beam a bright white laser light through that computer, just blast, beam a Beam a light near a person that, whatever the issue is, the person in question. Imagine them smiling, incredibly bright white light. All right. This is good energy, guys. I'm glad that you feel, and we're gonna go 20 minutes, 20 seconds. Aloha.